Hello, everyone. I think this is my final recording to you. Anyways, I'm really pleased that we're ending the discussion on this, talking about social work's complicity and complicitness with neoliberalist policies and programs. And I'm reminded of, I just posted it there for you, the International Social Work Federation, or whatever they're called. Um, they unveiled their logo, not their logo, but they unveiled their picture for this year, sometime in the fall or early, some time ago, and I posted it in the Dropbox for you, in your D2L for you. And I thought it was quite horrendous because they have clearly lost touch and sight with everybody on the ground. And I'm just keeping track of the meeting that they're having in Geneva, and the pictures that are coming out, they're horrendous. Anyways, they're kind of, not to say that they're all middle class, but they're projecting a certain image that would allow us to believe that they're very middle class. And the picture that I saw were of white people. Now, I know that there are more than white people there. But I also know that, I continue myself to be disillusioned by what we do as social workers. And I'm reminded too that, this is my challenge to you too, is that you came to the Institute, you did some amazing work, stepped out of your comfort zone. But one of your colleagues had actually suggested that we do a sit-in one of the safest places in the world. You're a bunch of upstanding, middle class, mostly white women. At least you have white skin privilege. And nobody sort of wanted to do that. And I want to ask you, what happened for you there? Because I think that is a part of what has happened to social work. I don't think we've ever been quote-unquote radical. I just think that we look like we were because of the kind of work that were being done at the time. But I please remind everyone, as your videos have said, is that different groups of people, not just white people, were doing what we're now calling social work, except they were actually in the community doing those pieces of work. Now, social work, for the most part, have gravitated and drifted towards the office where, we're calling ourselves clinicians, and as if we're running around in clinics and research labs looking at rats, And so for me, the shift from community-based practice as social workers to ivory tower dwellers is pretty telling. But what's more telling for me is how the social work profession has actually delegitimized and rendered invisible the people that continue to do amazing work in the community and the people that did them before. And so, I'm disillusioned at times with the profession. This is why I facilitate education the way in which I do, because I think it's really important that we step to the fore. We've gotten complacent, or we've gotten more complacent, and we are always saying that we don't have any power. And if I hear one more middle class social worker say that they don't have any power, I'm going to grow wings and fly, literally fly. I won't be in an airplane. And when I look at a province like this, when I came to this province 7.5 or so years ago, social worker was at the helm. And a social worker actually made and supported some of the most draconian rules around child welfare that I've seen in a long time. And there are lots of social work managers at the moment everywhere across the country that support draconian policies, that see, families and children being broken apart, and then we let them loose at 16 or 18 to be on their own, right? But if you look at social work history, and I might have spoken about this before, the rank and file really have never been interested in community-based radical social work. They've always been interested in being the cousin or they want to be cousin of psychology, for example, so that we can legitimize ourselves. And for me, we're always reinventing ourselves because we haven't really found a place in the hallowed hall of academe, because really we want to be a part of the ivory tower. And to me, that's such an insult to consider social workers being in that space. And I can't even imagine what kind of work they could do. And when I say ivory tower, I don't just mean academe. I mean larger institutions. So my ivory tower is a little bit broader than the norm. So I'm talking about hospitals and treatment centers and those things. And yes, we have a role to play in those places. But I really think we should really be in the community, walking alongside, in front of, in some cases, and behind community people. Right? So I don't know where we go from here. I just know that I have my part to do, and I know you have your part to do. And I hope that with all of us working together to do our parts, that we will rejuvenate the social work profession. But at this moment, I don't have a lot of hope. And so I bid you farewell. I hope that we meet again at some other time. It's been a blast. I've really enjoyed being a part of this group. This has been my most open, flexible, and fun MSW group. And I want to say thank you all for your contributions and your willingness to keep picking away at those conversations that I know sometimes are challenged for you. Okay? Peace out.